Elections to the 51 municipal wards and Nagar panchayats of Sikkim are scheduled to be held on March 31st. The most interesting part about the upcoming election, however, is that it is a non-partisan election, with all independents in the fray. This is the result of an amendment made to the Sikkim Municipalities Act of 2007, notified in September 2020, which says any person with direct or indirect support of a political party cannot contest the municipal polls. EastMojo speaks to one of the most popular independent candidates in fray for the upcoming municipal elections. Kailash Pradhan, a resident of Gangtok, is contesting for two constituencies, Upper MG Marg and Lower MG Marg. An architect by profession, Pradhan aims to infuse a new dimension in the Sikkim political scenario.
त्यस्तो खालको सिचुएसनमा when somebody is not so happy in the context of his own hometown, like his own home place, what do you do, you know? So हामी कुरा गर्दाखेरि we said, okay, there are three options. You can say that होइन म यहाँ हुँदैन, I'm going to go abroad, I'm going to go Delhi, Bombay, I'm going to live over there, ठिकै छ, you know, like you have your own family. So that's one option. Other option is you can stay here, गन गर्दै बस्यो क्या अब फ्रस्ट्रेट हुन्छ नि, like you know, like अब you just like complain, you know, you have your drink and you know, like it's always, and you kind of like, and one more thing you can do is you can stay here and you can try and change things, you know. You can try and see how things can be made better. If things need to be shaken up, you can try and do it. So these three options are there. So I think the last option is my option.
Okay.
So yeah, so just putting it in like another perspective. I feel that the way that Gangtok is growing at this stage, and we are on like we are a city, but we haven't like really matured like in our minds or even like physically cross that threshold into a city. A city is something like a body which manages itself. Later we are halfway there. So at this stage, we really need to kind of make Gangtok strong. And think about Gangtok. How can Gangtok be managed? Nothing's happening on the horizon, and I don't see any promise of something like good coming up. Also, in fact, I see like things are going to go south. You know, like the way that things are. So, we are trying to do something with my friends, but उनीहरूले नै मलाई अलिकति अगाडि ठेलेको कि this is a good opportunity, you know, like and all the things that we always talk about, and especially like what I always like concerned about, like this is the golden opportunity. We will back you, तिमी अगाडि बढ, and गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ the like to have a good plan for Gangtok so that we can manage the growth. Not only manage the growth, we can also like reimagine what the future of Gangtok that we want to be, and we can like sculpt Gangtok, you know, like we can move in that direction, and we need to try. And I feel like we need to, one difference that I'm going to make in the way that I feel that planning should be is I'm going to have a lot of consultation with the stakeholders at all the locality levels. उनीहरुकै सल्लाह लिएर, उनीहरुकै सहमति लिएर मात्रै अगाडि बढ्ने, because that's very important if you're serious about something and you want to get things implemented, number one. And also like if you want to kind of like, for me it's very important like the trust factor like people don't trust the government, you know, like there is a trust deficit, and and you know, like this, that and all that, contractor settings and all that. So we need to kind of like get out of that thing, otherwise nothing good is going to happen over here, you know, like. So I feel that if we go to the people like genuinely, and we do a good participative like kind of planning exercise, you will be able to kind of like start winning the trust of the people back, and especially if you follow up on our implementation. And त्यो गर्ने बित्तिकै like implementation पनि सजिलो हुन्छ if you have the trust of the people. You know, like a lot of the things get stuck because you don't consult them, and भरै implementation को टाइममा अब त्यो त्यहाँनिर अल्झिहाल्छ. Architecture doesn't mean like it's just architecture. For me, in fact, sensible architecture, responsible architecture is sustainable architecture. And sustainability भन्ने बित्तिकै अब environment को कुरा आउँछ हैन. And you ask me like, is there, for me in fact like there is like the architects or the planners' critical eye will tell you that knows that land is very precious, and it's a very kind of you know, almost a sacred kind of a resource for us in Gangtok. अब Gangtok बढ्दै जाँदैछ, जग्गा अब अलिअलि मात्रै छ यताउता बाँचेको क्या. And for a city to kind of like run well, you need like different like mandatory infrastructure. Like you need water, you need to have like electricity, you need to have like transportation. If you're having a rope, you need to have this public transportation kind of nodes. So Gardakiri, and we should have been very much more judicious in how we use land. So because once you use land, it's not going to come back. So त्यहाँनिर ज्ञान मन्दिरहरू बनायो. For me, I was already angry with that project. Like, why did we need a Gyan Mandir when that Sikkim University, the Sikkim Museum has been lying empty for the last 15 years. And we all know that these projects are made not because the projects are really needed, but because projects banaundakeri everybody gets a slice of the pie. And that's the only reason. So you make one project, you don't use it, and then next to that you make another one, and then त्यो बनाउँदा you make another one, because that's the economy and that's the model of development that we've kind of like adopted. Something very fundamentally wrong in what we are doing. We are not looking at things holistically. We are not looking at the total picture. So we just get into project mode. And sad to say, but corruption is actually the main reason that these things happen. So there is vested interest. So there is a kind of a nexus between the contractor and the politicians and probably the government like implementing agencies. So the decisions that are made for me is like very shabby, like, and we should be much smarter, like we should be. See, when you say that I'm an architect, okay, I am an architect. I am many other things also, I am a person who's lived and breathed in Sikkim. Mero bau pani eko ho, baji pani eko ho, baraju pani eko ho. Like, I see what's happening, I care about the place and I have opinions. I have very strong opinions on the hydropower projects. I kind of like talk to people. So I feel that I won't say I'm an intellectual, I'm a thinker or something, but I do have like thoughts about like, and I feel that I have the right, anybody has the right to speak about what they feel about their own place. And when I say that I have thought about things, I have thought about things also like in terms of like, say, I lived in Bhutan, I've seen how their development process and it works so well. And I've seen over here like the difference in corruption. Bhutan is like in the 20s or 30s in the Transparency Index International, and India is somewhere 100 and something. And India, Bithra Sikkim is like even like we live on dole money, like from Delhi. So yeah, I feel that we should have more self-pride. Like we should be able to stand on our own feet. We have the hydropower like resource, and we can make that something work for us and be sustainable like ourselves. Why do we have to always be thinking about like getting money from Delhi? And like for me, it's kind of like we should be moving away from that. But I don't see the government like having in fact, they are more happy. The more money that they can get from Delhi, it's better. So a lot of these kind of issues I do think about and I do have opinions on. And I feel that Uber Lagu evolution in my own life, we're evolving, you're evolving, I'm evolving, society is evolving, everything is evolving. And I feel that is the most important thing. I don't think there is, okay, one shot, everything you're going to get it right. But ramro bato lagera, I mean, like we know that, okay, if you walk this way, and then even sometimes bato around, so come back. But your constant motivation is always to evolve, to get better and better. It seems that I am OBC brackets S, means I'm a Sikkim ko OBC. I didn't know that. Like, मलाई पहिलादेखि नै like even college पढ्दाखेरि पनि I didn't take Sikkim quota. I wanted to try on my own. I want to know whether I am as good as anybody else. Like, so I felt that if I had taken a quota, I would have never known. And that would have forever in my life, it would have been like, Khasma, you are not that great. Abo Khasma, khali just Sikkim ko bhara mate to like, you got a seat. I don't want to have that thing. Like, so there was one seat available for me in Daragaon Lumse as a OBC as candidate. But unfortunately, I didn't have a caste certificate. And your code of conduct or lagesa, so it's difficult to get that. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, it doesn't feel right. I don't want to do this caste kind of a thing. And then I had only 4 options. So I had Burtuk at MG Marg, upper and lower, and Arithang 2. Arithang 2 ma like hamrai sathi Navraj Tiwari. So I think he's a good candidate, and our team is also kind of seeing whether we can support him. Burtuk ma I have very little like connection with the Burtuk. So I was left with upper MG Marg and lower MG Marg. So and somehow I got a good feeling about it. Especially Upper MG Marg is the most progressive kind of locality of Gangtok, and Gangtok is like the heart of Sikkim. So in a way, MG Marg is, in a way, it's kind of like the, there is it's kind of, we can, I don't know whether you can say a capital, but it is somehow, it's a center of Sikkim, like not only Gangtok. The other thing is also, they also the demographic, which is like more affluent, or therefore more educated, therefore more gyani, a little bit alikati open to new ideas, whatever. And I'm trying to come up with new ideas. So, and that's my pitch.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to East Mojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.